Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So it's the day after Christmas, Boxing Day. I hope you guys had a great holiday for those of you who celebrate Christmas. And as the altcoin market has taken a bit of a turn, guys, Bitcoin reached a new all-time high. It did break 25,000 just last night. So this is Bitcoin on the daily. Let me put it on the hourly just to show you guys this markup here. Just over $25,000 right now. It's trading at about 24,800. And look at the crypto space. So Bitcoin trading at 24.8, Ethereum 621, and XRP down a little bit, just trading over, just a little over 30 cents right now. So altcoins have definitely taken a bit of a hit. Bitcoin dominance is up, as you guys can see up here, 69.1%. The entire market is at 666.1 billion. And so another rotation, money coming out of altcoins, coming into Bitcoin. You can check out the total to market cap here on TradingView, and it'll show you the market cap right now for altcoins, everything other than Bitcoin. We did see a bit of a surge and then a bit of a correction, and it is mirroring the XRP chart quite nicely. We've got XRP here on the hourly, and XRP, as I had mentioned, just trading over 30 cents. So just hovering in and around this 30.5 cent line. We have to close above this, guys, in December in order to confirm bullish momentum, at least technically speaking. And I know this turn of events, namely the SEC lawsuit, took a lot of XRP investors by surprise. We were expecting higher highs not to come back down into that 30 cent level and even below that. And so just as all of this was coming out, Bearableguy did indeed drop a new riddle. We covered it a couple of days ago. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. But this tweet was brought to my attention from Dodler for XRP, the one on Twitter, BG123decode. Thanks to Arcturus here on Reddit. He goes into a deep dive, guys, and I'm going to talk about some of the things he talks about. He kind of brings the entire picture together. So in the video I did a couple of days ago, we were just kind of finding pieces here and there, obviously based on what we could tell from this latest Bearableguy riddle. But Arcturus really kind of dives deep into this. So I just wanted to read this for you guys. And, if some of you guys have more to add, just put it down in the comments section. It paints an interesting picture. So he says, guys, I think I got this one figured out to some degree. English is not my native language, so bear with me. This is a hint at what might be coming next. And some of those things have been speculated in the XRP community for some time now. We need to go back a bit in time to understand. Remember one of the former riddles when the guy in armor was standing outside the castle? The guy in the armor suit is representing Brad Garlinghouse. The castle represents the world economy, or let's rather say the global financial system. So what he's referring to, obviously, is this original Bearableguy riddle, the castle riddle, where Brad Garlinghouse and Riddle, represented by the knight, is standing outside the castle wearing the silver armor, and now he is inside the castle. So I don't believe anybody else mentioned that. This is a bigger picture kind of story, I think, and to draw from some of these older Bearableguy riddles might be of use. So we're now inside the heart of the castle, the place where everything is decided behind the scenes. Brad now has a golden armor. Not only that is a reference to gold, but also the round little circles are the alchemical symbol for gold. So what he's talking about here are these alchemy symbols. I clicked on this gold alchemy symbol link here and it brought me to this. I don't necessarily see the resemblance, but I can see what he's talking about with these circles on Brad Garlinghouse's armor. So I think it's fair to say that the gold does represent the gold standard. And then he goes on to say this. It's a clear hint that the gold standard is coming. Remember Judy Shelton talking about a new Bretton Woods and how it could come about in a very cryptocurrency way. Now, for those of you guys who do not remember that clip, I have it here. Take a listen.
You mentioned the gold standard. I think you're quite well known for your stance on the gold standard. Would returning to a gold standard help the U.S. economy? Can you talk a little about your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say I don't see it so much as returning, but more of a back to the future.
Okay.
I think that what a gold standard stands for is monetary discipline for its own sake. That is, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field? And it's very important to have a rules-based approach, and that's why I'm advocating that we need to look at the virtues of a gold standard and try to come up with something much closer to matching those, and then I think we would have more solid economic growth.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. This was courtesy of Crypto Camaro on YouTube. Thanks so much for posting that. Of course, that is Judy Shelton talking about the gold standard, talking about going back to the future. You know, we used to have this gold standard, then we moved away from it. And she talks about that cryptocurrency kind of way to have a level playing field. Of course, this is the bigger narrative that we've been talking about, revolving around what Ripple is doing around the world and what XRP was created to do with regards to cross-border transactions. So it's a clear hint that the gold standard is coming. Remember Judy Shelton talking about the new Bretton Woods. So there we go. They're very cautious, though, about how they word everything and give tiny tidbits that most people cannot piece together. It is rather for them to communicate for those in the know of the banking sector. Look at Brad's armor again. There's another hint at Bretton Woods, since the color of the breastplate, where all the gold symbols are, resemble exactly the color of the rooftop of the Mount Washington Hotel at Bretton Woods. So we've got the breastplate here. Brad Garlinghouse obviously wearing the gold armor, the red breastplate. And if you type Mount Washington Hotel Bretton Woods roof in Google, here's what you get. You guys can see this red rooftop here, a piercing red color similar to the one on Brad Garlinghouse's breastplate. Moving towards the gold standard, or a gold standard, doesn't seem so far-fetched. You know, this theme has been talked about time and time again within the space, you know, the financial sector getting revamped. Of course, you know, money the way it is today, there's problems with it, very problematic system. And so could there be another reserve currency? Some people were talking about XRP being a new reserve currency. Anyway, that is up for debate. Let me continue. Brad is urging the two priests that represent the hidden rulers in the banking system to hand over the golden scepter, which gives him the ability to rule it all. The two priests, or mystics, one of them is making hand signs, 3 finger at each hand, which represents 33 Mason symbology, which shows who really rules behind the scenes. So we've got the two priests down here, or the mystics, and then we've got the 3, these hand signs. I didn't know about this Mason symbology, or symbolism rather, but apparently there is something that has to do with the Masons, and the number 33, the 33rd degree, is kind of one of those highest rankings from what I understand. The highest rankings that you can be within the Mason organization, and so there is no higher ruler than one of the 33rd degree from my understanding. If you guys know a little bit more about Masonry and the Masons, the Freemasons, put it down in the comment section. I could be wrong on that. Maybe they are reluctant, but this could also just be for show. I can't remember where I know this OIO symbol, which is depicted on the scepter, I think from something electricity related, kind of like an electric circuit, which could in this case represent the digital asset space, or rather the upcoming Internet of Value. So let me go back to this original tweet here, and they're talking about energy. I do remember seeing this. I think I'm remembering back to high school, some kind of class I took in high school, and this does have something to do with an electrical current, if I'm not mistaken. This tweet here from Michelle, XRP Vet. So we're still kind of questioning this. If you guys have an idea, put it down in the comment section. I also just want to remember this since I'm on this page. SFX Robo XRP Hodl says the floor is red brick laid in herringbone style. If you guys don't know what that is this cross kind of wavy pattern that is called herringbone. And what they're suggesting here is that there could be a red herring. He's saying what's taking place is just a red herring. Sorry if somebody has already pointed this out. I thought I'd just say what I see in plain sight. Red herring, a fish, a clue, or piece of information which is or intended to be misleading or distracting. The book is fast-paced, exciting, and full of red herrings. So, you know, red herrings, could that also be the SEC dropping that lawsuit to kind of, you know, divert our attention away from what's really going on. Let me continue here. So this symbol, the electricity symbol, could mean, an electrical circuit. Obviously, the new world financial system is going to be powered by some form of DLT blockchain solutions, which will be electrical. So this is a very appropriate analogy for the Internet of Value. Bearableguy is carving something out of this rock that is an allegory for carving something in stone. So it gets irrevocable without a doubt. And I talked about this in the last Bearableguy video. When you are carving something out of stone, it is set in stone and written in stone, describes something that cannot be changed, something permanent and immutable, something that is absolute. As with most idioms, the phrases carved in stone, set in stone, and written in stone have their origin in a literal meaning. And you guys can see here Bearableguy carving, this piece of stone. We talked about this in the last video. What he carves has the shape of a shield. Notice how Brad doesn't wear his old shield with the X on it. So what he's referring to here was this shield with the X. And now he no longer has that shield. This is just in the making, and when the SEC lawsuit is finished, the shield will be finished, or maybe even before that. In the center of the shield, something can be seen of a brown color. It might be something out of wood, as it has the same color as the leader. Maybe a reference to Bretton Woods, but this could be a stretch. There might be hints in previous Riddles objects with the same colors, or just something that will only be revealed in the next puzzle. Remember in the former puzzle with the regulation molasses can, it's slow as molasses, so this may be why it's going down this road now. Of course, what he's referring to here was this former Christmas puzzle that Bearableguy put out in the year 2019 with the molasses up here on top of the bookshelf and, regulations slow as molasses. This is not going to happen quickly, as we already know. So, this is just another step towards getting things done. This is not the only reason. I think those might only be apparent reasons for the public which don't know how the game is played. The SEC will only act according to the big banks, so behind the curtain, this is already a done deal. The question now is how will it be delivered? So maybe this lawsuit is another play in the game to make the public not suspect regulators or banks work in favor for this digital asset. They make it appear a competition. When Kick Messenger got sued over their native token, in the end it came out as a non-security, as the only one besides BTC and ETH. Now, I was trying to do some more research on that, and I couldn't find a page specifically saying that Kick did indeed win the lawsuit and their kin token was deemed a non-security. If somebody has a specific page referring to that, please link it down in the comments section. I was looking for that. All I could find was, obviously write-ups about the Kick lawsuit, but couldn't find anything specifically saying that the kin token was deemed a non-security officially. The beams on the top match the colors of the flag from the former puzzle. Green equals BTC, yellow equals USD, and purple equals XRP. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm guessing this is purple. In the last video I did, I took a look at this and I thought it was looking more blue than purple, but I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a bit of a different color code in Photoshop and Bearableguy just hit the, a slightly different shade of purple. But anyway, the beams in the back are of mixed colors, referring to as when it was a battle between these assets. In the end, XRP comes out on top as the predominant currency with USD and BTC behind it. So interesting to note that XRP in purple, the predominant currency, and everything else behind it, USD, BTC, so on and so forth. Now we've got on the right above those priests, we have a hidden hand of a central banker offering 3 wild cards which would hint of how a scenario will play out. There are 3 cards, each one with 1, 2, and 3 points, which could hint at the sequence of proceedings. Number 1, gold standard. Number 2, a blackout. And number 3, a collapse of the old system. So he's referring to these 3 cards here. Of course, gold, black, and gray. The gold standard, a blackout, and a collapse of the old financial system, guys. This is all stuff we've been talking about in the past as well. So it is interesting that, this seems to be all tying together here. I think the 3rd card could mean this because the logo reminds us of the Deutsche Bank logo, which could be the first domino of this collapse. And so, of course, I brought up Deutsche Bank here. You guys can see that logo is very similar to that of the one that is on the card here. I also wanted to point out this tweet here, guys. The cards on the right side, everything goes back into XRP. Other box with angles looks like a divert down flag. This from Crypto Broadcast, and he's retweeting out this tweet from the IMF talking about cryptocurrencies. Now, this I think was from a video they put out, and they gave a little description with like a triangle going into a square or a circle going into a triangle, so on and so forth, just basically giving examples of how cryptocurrency works. And it looks like that is very similar to these same shapes that are on this gray card. So the new financial system, Deutsche Bank could be the beginning of this. Of course, we're assuming this new financial system will deal with cryptocurrencies in a more prevalent fashion. And so could this be what these three cards represent? And of course, in the back, we see the old king of the system with his wrecked crown, which is parted in 2 and 3 jags, which could hint at Jay Clayton, who quit on December 23rd. So I never thought of that. Take a look at the king. The broken crown, 3 jags and then 2 jags. Of course, it would be reversed, and that would represent the 23rd of December, the same day that the SEC dropped the lawsuit. On the last attempt, which could be part of the show, he throws a wrench while he is almost out of the window, which is followed by a big shakeout on the market. I think it's not so much about the shakeout, but rather pave the way for the exchanges to proceed with certain steps. Some are delisting XRP, others halting the trading of XRP. I think this was what was meant to happen for the flip the switch moment. On the left side, we have a little peekaboo hole with a mouse. Of course, guys, we've seen that little mouse down here. With those little eyes, you can barely see 2 white dots there. Small investors, the general public, who can only get a peek of what is going on there. Notice how we look from behind Bearableguy, and there is a huge rock in front of their eyes, which hides what Brad is doing on the other side of them. The wall is full of numbers. These seem to be wallet addresses, which I disagree with. This is the only thing I kind of disagree with here. I think that they are numeric codes that we still have yet to decipher, which would be whales that we need to look out for to make some moves more comprehensible in all of this. Don't you think it's strange this comes out a few hours after all of this happened? This was well thought out, and it shows what is going on in cryptic terms. What better way would there be if you want to get this info out for some reason? The general public would never take any of this seriously, so this knowledge only rests with those in the know. Masons have the credo to put it all in front of our faces in one way or another in codes, so this is not surprising. I thought that was a really great interpretation of this latest Bearableguy riddle. Of course, this isn't everything. We do still have the codes in the walls, which, guys, I tried, to look at, some of these decoding websites to kind of figure out what some of these codes meant. And I think somebody was mentioning that some of them are backwards. Well, we did definitely get the titles. Perseverance is power. That was from the last video. But a lot of these codes in the walls here were very difficult to decipher. If anybody has any idea of any of these codes, what any of them mean, please do put it down in the comments. The one code that I did find some answers on was this one, the one that Brad Garlinghouse, the knight, is pointing to with the sword, the WMW2020 code. Somebody on Twitter, and I forget who it was now, put it into a code decoder, and ultimately, right, it was this one here, ultimately found this image here. What? Me worried? And for those of you guys too young to remember this is Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. And this was his famous catchphrase, what, me worried? Meaning, no, I'm not worried at all. And so Brad Garlinghouse clearly pointing to this up here, definitely not worried about everything that's coming down the pipe. And you know what, guys, if Brad Garlinghouse is not worried, I don't think we should be either, but that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments, because I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.